Honestly, I wasn't even quite sure if I should already do the first impressions video of the Nubia Z17. But not because there's something wrong with the phone, but just because I have limited access to apps. Since this is running the original Chinese software, even though it has multi-language support, it doesn't support Google services just yet. I hope I will get there for the final review, because right now I just can't fully judge it without all the things running that I usually have running for my reviews. But what we can take a look at today is the hardware and a few other things, and I would say let's just do that. And if you take a look at it, the first thing that obviously is very obvious is that we have almost no bezels, and this is why the device feels so amazingly narrow. But how does it actually stack up with some of the competitors out there? So let's take a look at that. Here we have it with the OnePlus 5. You can see pretty much the same in terms of length. In terms of width though, as you can see that it is noticeably narrower. A little bit thicker though, and due to having a little bit more flat edges, it feels a little bit more bulky. So even though the OnePlus 5 maybe is a little bit wider, it actually is almost easier to handle. So I will have to see about that in a few more days. But let's get even more to an extreme with the Xperia X Z Prime. As you can see, even more so wide. And yeah, there's pretty much no excuse, because as you can see, these are two 5.5 inches. And look how much smaller the Nubia is. Okay, let's take the next one here, the Htc U11. Yeah, obviously a little bit taller, also as everything else, wider and even thicker. So yeah, it is after all a very compact phone. And if you quickly want to know how it compares with the Nubia Z17 Mini, let's take a look at that. Of course, the Mini, since it has a smaller screen, is shorter, but even that one, as you can see, is pretty much the same width. So very, very impressive what they did here in terms of design. In terms of build quality, absolutely top notch. It feels super solid. You can't really flex it even the slightest little bit. The texture of this back is quite something weird, especially here on the sides as well, because it is so smooth and it feels kind of like something very silky, like silk. And it feels great, but it doesn't really provide the best grip, and it's just something completely weird that you have to get used to, I think. But just in terms of design, I really like it. It's maybe a little bit on the bulky side, but this feels more like a 5.2 incher in terms of width, and for a 5.5 incher, then not bulky anymore. Of course, the fingerprint reader works quite fine. It's definitely not the fastest one. There are better ones out there by now. Screen turn-on time is also not that great, because the fingerprint reader reliable. That is important. Okay, what else do we get? We get the dual cam. I will get into that a little bit more in the review, but I will give you a little bit some first impressions later on. As you can see here, it does protrude a little bit. Then we have an IR blaster, we have the microphone, we have a SIM card and a SD card tray on the bottom. Speaker only on the right, which is actually weird, because I thought I've seen a presentation where it said dual speaker system, which is unfortunately not the case. Then USB Type-C, microphone, buttons, absolutely nicely placed. They feel nice, so all is good here. Notification LEDs here. We have breathing light and we have capacitive buttons. So I don't think there's too much to say here. I won't go into all the rest though for now, because display, it can't maybe impress, because the qualities are absolutely solid. They are on a high level. I have no complaints. But what is impressive is the near bezel-less design. The display itself, since it's just 1080p, absolutely gets the job done. And just because of the also bezel-less design, it still can be get away with a kind of flagship experience, because it's not the very, let's say, just impressive display. It's absolutely not faulty, and it does everything good. The speaker, like I said, though, no dual speaker system, and that's why it's good. It's absolutely fine, no problems here at all. Performance, like I said, I can't fully judge it since I don't have all apps running, but the most important ones I got here. As you can see, this is running Flamingo, as I usually always run. As you can see, it is super nice and buttery smooth. And I just can't wait to get Google services running here so I can test all my apps, because as you can see here, absolutely top notch. Also here for Parlaber, absolutely top. No complaints here at all. There are Snapdragon 835 phones that are even a little bit maybe better, like for example the Htc U11, but this is just maybe like a fraction behind, so don't get worried about that, because the overall experience is top. What they now finally introduced is a recent apps button, so you don't have to long press, but double tap doesn't bring it to the last app. This is unfortunate, because it just doesn't do anything now. So you have to press once and then switch. So even though it's a fast device, you can't really switch quickly between this unless you maybe use 3 finger gestures, which is great, but it can't be used with one hand, unfortunately. But performance, like I said, is very, very good. Now, let's take a look at the new software. And yes, this is running the Chinese version, and it has even multi-language support with German and everything else. Yeah, but not Google services. And I tried it because, as you can see here, I have the Play Store running, but it just doesn't connect, and Chrome doesn't work, and so on. So yeah, What are we running? Yes, we are already running 7.1.1. That is all nice. We already had a lot of features that we get in Nougat with the older Marshmallow ROM, but there are a few differences here, and especially one that is very weird and something you have to get used to is the following. Once I swiped down, I thought, where are the quick settings? I thought, okay, maybe I have to swipe to the side. No, it's just not there. And then I thought, no, wait, maybe did they do the following? Yes, they did, because if you swipe from the bottom, you can do this either on the right or left side. If you do this in the middle, you could use split screen app, as you can see, but otherwise you swipe up and then you see this, yeah, very much like iOS, I get that. And here we have access to everything. I would have actually liked to have a little bit more adjustment here, because what you can't get away with is projection, Nubia transfer. But what is nice, we have some shortcuts and we have the toggles, but you can't really expand them anymore. So you are limited to 8 on one screen, then you have to already move. So I'm not quite sure if this is the best solution. I would have wished for just something more traditional. So what else do we get? Let's take a look at that. Not really much to show here, which you haven't seen from a Nubia device, but otherwise we have, of course, screen differences or preferences with color changing mode, as you can see here, natural, colorful, and screen optimization for sunshine. All is good. Then, of course, eye care mode, font size, and all that. We also get notification bar and status bar options. So nothing that you haven't seen from a Nubia device. Lock screen options, of course. Fit. This is just the old software that we already had, just now with a new name, I think, because as you can see, hold to the edge, swipe down from the edge. So these are the bezel gestures that I turned off because I use my own ones. But this is definitely nice if you don't use bezel gestures like I do. We, of course, have split screen mode. We have super snap. More features gives us one-handed mode, so that is still available. Nothing to really worry about. Red Pack Assistant, yeah, nothing really all that exciting. Remote camera, maybe I will have to look into that a little bit further. And as you can see now, we have a task button and a back button, which we can replace now. But now you don't have the menu button anymore. So on the older version, like we also still have on the Nubia Z17 Mini, we still have the menu button. I don't know why they don't give us an extra option to get just both or something like that. This is just weird. Touch gestures are still there, so double click to light up the screen, which is something that a lot of people still like. Free finger gesture for the screenshot. As you can see, I like that, and of course the switching between the apps is something that I like. But that would have been pretty much it already for the software. Camera. I already did my full rundown with the cam, but I'm not going to give you all that information yet. What I'm going to give you just a real little bit of a glimpse, because the review could take a little bit of a while, because I want to get Google services running. Okay, Selfie Cam. The problem is that it's not in focus if you are very up close. So you have to be like almost arm's length. Then it's sharp and then it's nice. Low light shots look good. Like I said, I'm not giving you a final sample for conclusions just yet. Main camera. Yeah, definitely on par with many flagships, and the video is very impressive actually. So priced at around, I don't know, quite sure, I will put it just there. I don't want to say anything wrong. I think like 450 from CCT shop, where I got it actually very quick, and I have to say I am not quite as blown away as I expected to be from it, because I liked the in-hand feel and the hardware of the Z11 last year already, but I back then had some minor hardware performance issues. Not anymore here the case. But what is the case here is the following. The problem is that this device did just not improve so much from last year like the competition did, because yes, the 1080p screen is super nice, but we have already Quad HD displays that just look more impressive. Then, in terms of design, really nice. I like it, because it's actually weird, because I think it is a little bit bulky, but I kind of see this as more of a 5.2-inch device in terms of width, so for a 5.5-inch it's not anymore, and then it is great. And it's just built so well with the in-hand feel. It's really nice. The speaker, nothing really amazing. It's good, maybe quite good, but not more. And just to get out of the confusion, quite good for me is better than good, because there was something that maybe a few people weren't so sure about that. Battery life, I can't judge it at all, because without Google services running and so on, I don't know. But with the 835 and the battery size, I think 3200 milliamp hours, it should be absolutely decent, at least maybe at that. I guess even more so. Software, from what I know from Nubia's UI and from what I see in terms of features and so, absolutely top. Just Google services should be running, and I hope I will get a solution for that quite soon, because the Chinese version of the Nubia Z17 already has, but that one was also out a little bit longer. Camera, yeah, for the price you get definitely what you should expect, and that without any constraints. Now, The problem is I can't really give you any better conclusions because I need more time to with the device, because I have it for like 3 days, didn't use it so much because, as I said, with the lack of the apps and so on, but I'm just not quite full blown anymore. If you want something different than, for example, the Xiaomi 6 that offers great value for the price, and you want 5.5 inches and you want something imported that is just cheaper and offers better value, this definitely could be it, because the potential is there. But if you want to stack it up with the very, very best flagships out there that cost like double, like the Htc U11 and all those, like, let's say, Quad HD displays from renowned brands that have the best cameras, maybe not quite there, but very, very close, and you save a lot of money. So it definitely is a viable solution to all the flagships out there. And some people don't consider 1080p phones to be a flagship. Yeah, if it's IPS instead of AMOLED like on the OnePlus 5, it definitely is. But this was it for now. I hope you liked it. I hope it was helpful. And I only did this video because a few people from the Nubia community asked me to do it. So I guess you get most of the information that you are asking for right now, and more will be coming in the review, hopefully then with Google services running. But that would have been it. If you liked it, thumbs up, leave me any comments down below what you want to know for the final review, and yeah, until next time, bye.